Alrighty, welcome back everybody, Facebook Live. Happy to have Patrick Crowley joining us again. We missed him last week. Welcome back.
Missed you guys. I was tuning in though.
Alright, so Pick My Solar Live. This is number, I want to say this is number 70.
70,
Have we
yeah.
really done 70 of these?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Alright, well we have a very informative topic today. So we're going to be talking about a very substantial incentive to rebuild a sustainable home in Sonoma County, California. So, obviously there was the massive wildfires last year, just kind of devastated that entire area. So there is a very, high incentive to help rebuild, these homes up there and build them in a sustainable way. As always, ask us questions, write us a comment, send us an email, give us a call. All right, let's dive into it here. So the Advanced Energy Rebuild Program. So as I mentioned, these are for homeowners specifically in Sonoma and Mendocino counties that were affected by the October 2017 fire. And it's to rebuild energy efficient, sustainable homes with up to $17,500 in incentives.
Yeah, I mean it's an incredible incentive. Obviously, a drop in the bucket towards some of the total loss, but
sure,
the impetus behind this is to help try to make the grid more sustainable by having less reliance on the grid. We'll get into the actual program details, but that's why the incentive is so rich and bring these houses back to the area in a more sustainable way.
For sure. So here are some of the incentive packages. The Advanced Energy Home up to $7,500, all electric home $12,500, and then a solar add-on for $5,000.
Right. So you do have to do, in order to qualify, I believe we'll get into the exact qualifications later. You have to do one of those top two, either the Advanced Energy Home or the all electric home, and the solar add-on.
Got it.
So I'm pretty sure you have to do each of those, or one of the top bucket and the bottom bucket in order to claim that incentive. But you can see the difference between the Advanced Energy Home, the all electric home, and then the solar add-on, just to kind of then pull a little bit away from PG&E, and kind of establish your own power source.
And I think we will get into more details on each of the incentive packages here. Okay, so the program requirements. So this is only applicable to homes that were destroyed in October 2017, those wildfires. The service you must have is either from Sonoma Clean Energy or PG&E. So you have to be one of their customers.
Your electric service.
Yes, exactly. Must submit the application before any of these installations begin. So if you're in the planning stages now, just know that you need to get this in before you actually
that's
start.
super important. A lot of times with these incentives, the fine print is going to be the determining factor. So if you're planning on this, make sure you're doing that application first.
Yep.
Last thing I want you to do is spend a whole bunch of money on energy efficient appliances and not be able to claim that that incentive.
Yeah. You must contract with a home energy rating system. So I'm actually not that familiar with that, but it is an organization, I guess, that you just have to kind of go over the details of the project.
Right. So that is, our expertise is going to be more on the solar side and doing that solar and battery add-on. This is going to be on the home building side, not our area of expertise, but it is, again, a requirement of the program.
Right.
So you need to, when you're working with either your general contractor or home builder, planner, whatever, just make sure that that HERS rater is
follow
accounted
all those
for.
steps. Yep. Right. It is a first come, first served basis, and the funding expires December 31st, at the end of the year. So
coincides with the federal tax credit. So
that's true.
Yeah, it would be no better time to do it.
Right.
For sure.
Yep. And just if you guys aren't aware, Patrick's referring to the 30% federal tax credit that will step down at the end of this year.
Correct.
Okay. So these are the top two of those incentive packages that we looked at earlier. So the Advanced Energy Home or the All Electric Home. So a little bit of the process here, and we'll have this. You can screenshot this later, but just kind of the steps that you should follow for one of those two incentive packages there. Looks like you'd receive 50% of the incentive after you submit the application, and then you receive the remaining 50% after it passes the inspection.
Yeah, so it should help you with the upfront purchase of that equipment.
Yep.
At least cut into it a little bit, and then of course, to make sure that it's up to up to the code is that inspection, and that's probably why you need to work with that HERS rater beforehand.
Right. They want to kind of scope the project out.
Right. I would imagine if you work with that HERS rater after the fact and you're not up to code, they're probably actually going to take back that initial 50%. I don't know the fine print, but that would be my estimation.
Right.
That's probably why they're withholding that, to make sure that it was actually done as scoped.
That makes sense.
So make sure that, I can't say for sure that they would take back that 50%, but if they're going to be that stringent on getting it inspected, I can't imagine they'd let it slide.
That makes sense. Okay, and then this is the additional, so the solar add-on, the process over here. You install that solar PV system or a battery system that's at least 7.5 kilowatt hours.
Yeah, so I can touch on this a little bit. So the system sizing here, most of these times you're not going to have, you're not going to know what the historical usage is if you're rebuilding that home. You're not going to have that data. So doing a simple, simple calculation based on the square footage. So that's obviously something you're going to need to know. After that, everything else will fall into place as far as sizing that system. Roof space pending, that's always a factor in solar. But with a new build, you can usually put the vents in a place that's on the northern side or something like that, so that you don't have to eat up that solar area. And with the batteries, really not much for you to think about. Tesla Powerwall is over this minimum. LG Chem over this minimum, and the Sonnen Eco battery, they have ranges that go above and below. We don't really see people go below the 8. So really the 3 major players that we've seen, and then there's Pika, there's a few other players in the market up there that you might see, all of which are over that threshold.
Yep, absolutely. And then, so I do have a question. I'm not sure if you know the answer to this or not, but the PV system, the size, do they have to follow this specifically, or could they deviate from that a little bit?
That's a good question. I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if that's just the guideline, or if they had historical usage before those fires and wanted to say we're building the same home, build it off of this. I'd have to go into the fine print there.
And like
we'll leave that in the comments
one of those
on
low
video.
justification forms, you can kind of get really granular with the appliances that you're going to have in your home. So we'd have to look into that.
We always say sizing a system off square footage should be nothing more than a rough estimate. So
absolutely. All right, and just to do our part as much as we can, and on top of the $17,500 that you're eligible for, Pick My Solar is also offering a $500 rebate to our customers as well, kind of even that out at $18,000 that you guys could get back. So trying to do what we can. Not much in the grand scheme of things here, but we're happy to give that offer.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, I believe that is it for today. Pick My Solar, as always, we are an online solar marketplace, so if you're looking into solar or battery, come to us. We'll assess your project, see if it makes sense for you, and we'll connect you with some of the top providers in your area. Happy Friday, everyone, and we will not see you next week. It is 4th of July, so hope everyone has a great 4th of July, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Fantastic.
Alrighty.